Hey everybody, this is Charlie with Outskirts Overland. It's Monday morning. Driving into work. No hat on today, which is very untypical of me for those of you watching. Uh, anyways, Monday, getting into it. Last week was a little weird. I put a podcast out on Thursday and it didn't go live until way late. So I ended up not putting one out Friday just because Thursdays went out so freaking late. I think it finally went live at like 10 p.m. I was like, man, I didn't want to turn around, just put another one up and have that one get missed. So, anyways, I'm back here today. How are you guys doing? Hopefully, you guys all went over to Newfound Overland and listened to me and Benji chat for a couple hours over there. We covered a lot of stuff. And even since then, Benji's put up a post along the same lines about, just kind of not advertising the wrong type of behavior, over there, Newfound Overland, Midwest Adventure Outfitters, Benji Ward, wherever he posted it. I don't necessarily remember, but kind of the same thing. Like, just let's not be like even these companies like being familiar with like, hey, let's not advertise, you know, crappy behavior because then people are going to be like, oh, I can get your product and do that. Like that's what you could do. So I think, yeah, that just sucks. That's all. I mean, that's all there's to it. But today, just going to recap my weekend a little bit, kind of do a little bit of Monday Madness here. I guess I'll call it today. I'll call it all kinds of different things every Monday. I'll never be consistent with what I call it. But today, just going over my weekend, I went to a like a little campground site, nature sanctuary place, kind of. I think that's the best way to try and explain it. And we hung out and walked around and saw some cool stuff. They had all kinds of cool stuff to look at. They had like huge telescopes to observe the stars and planets and stuff, like huge, like big 10-foot long ones, like crazy huge ones. And they had animals, and it was like a farm slash, you know, off grid, I guess, Airbnb. They had like little structures along the place for Airbnb folks that were made out of like a school bus or a pull behind trailer or a camper trailer that was like painted green and just all kinds of different stuff. It was a pretty cool little place. And we excuse me, we that all went great. We were there Friday night and it was decent. Friday night was we got there at like 10 o'clock, I think. Um and it didn't get super cold, probably like 40s, mid 40s probably. It was like not crazy. Got up in the morning, it was like 60 already. And maybe it was 60 all night. Heck, I don't even remember. I didn't Friday wasn't cold. Anyways, so and then Saturday was hot all day, like 80, hot, like hot. And the sun was out for a really long time, and we were like, man, this is crazy how hot it is. And then Saturday night we got stormed on like a mother, like heavy rain. I guess storm is a rained on. We got rained on. It wasn't like I don't think it was a thunderstorm anyways. We got rained on pretty good though, so I had to get up in the morning and do the whole like. If you guys have awnings, if you have your awning on, you gotta do the whole like push it up and the water all runs off. Drill in the morning, which is always just remember, hey, that's something I'll put on here, guys. If you guys have an awning and it's rained and you gotta like push it up to get the water off, make sure you're facing out because that stuff will go straight down your back. Make sure you're in the awning looking out when you press that up. Because that freaking water that floods off that thing hard. And it will just it will just soak you down your back. Um, yeah, if you have an awning and you're ever out in the rain, just, you know, write that down, as Van Wilder would say, write that down. Like, uh, don't be looking into your truck kind of like at the edge of the awning here. You get soaked, dude. But anyways, so it rained like crazy, got down to like 30. I didn't put the diesel. I had the diesel heater with me, but I didn't turn it on because it's 80 all day. And so it was cold. I was cold. I was pretty cold. My girlfriend was in her sleeping bag. I was just under my rumple blanket. And that was really good until it wasn't. It got cold. So whatever. It's all good. It happens. So got up yesterday, kind of got ready, got rained on again, and packed up and went and dropped my truck off to get worked on this week. next week. Like I don't really know particularly when it's getting worked on specifically. I just dropped it off for him to work it in. He's being nice enough to do that before I go again in a couple of weeks. Um, Man, guys, breaking in gears. You got a bunch of you guys probably already have gears, and you know this, but man, that's a process. Looking at what all I got to do to break it in. I freaking took the truck 2 hours away. It's gonna be a 6 hour, seven. It's gonna take me a whole day to get home with the truck to do the protocol correctly. You got to drive like 15 miles, let it cool all the way off, or 20 miles, let it cool all the way off. You got to do like 5, 6 times. Can't be going over like 60. It's wild, man. It's wild. Like I drove like 2 hours on the highway. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be. Some people are like, they don't need broken. You'll be fine. Blah blah blah. Well, I'm going off what Yukon says to do in their Yukon gears. So I'm just going off what Yukon says. So that's gonna be a pretty long drive home with the truck. Doing that over and over and over. And I got to do that for 500 miles. Once I have the truck back home, I mean, it's like 10 miles to work. So I'll just drive it to work and home, and that's going to be, that'll be cool. That'll be fine. I just got to get it home first, and I'm definitely not trailering it. That is not an option. Um, that would just also suck. um, so yeah, that's a deal. I hadn't really looked at what all it entailed. Specifically, I knew there's a break-in process. I've had gears in other vehicles before. I didn't have it done 2 hours away, so I guess I just didn't even think about it. That's that's a story of me though. Like, don't think about it. Yeah. So I mean, that's what I did this weekend. This coming week, I've got nothing exciting going on. Um, More expos coming up. It's almost April now, so almost this month. I mean, isn't it April tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow's April 1st. So more expos this month. I'll go ahead and say, and pretty much from there, it's season starts and stuff's going. And I'm just trying to get this truck back and get these things broke in before I go on any trips with my buddies. So we can hopefully get things going. But nothing crazy. Pretty chill camp weekends. Didn't stay at I don't know. I wouldn't call it necessarily a campground, but I camped at a place this weekend, not in the wilderness, backcountry, whatever you want to say. But it's still a good time. They had cool stuff. So I had fun still. I always have fun camping regardless. I don't prefer campgrounds generally, but I just like to be out. So it's not always a epic 4x4 adventure. Sometimes it is though, but not always. And in this case, it was not. So back home today, only in the Subaru. It's kind of weird waking up in the morning with only one of your cars outside. Uh, but yeah, nothing really going on today. I'll have a topic for tomorrow. I mean, today I was just gonna say, hey, like this is what I did this weekend. I feel like if I continue to tell you guys like kind of what's going on with my car camping overlanding experience, it might give you guys some ideas, or not even ideas, but maybe make it more of a, oh, that's like that's okay. Maybe, I don't know. I think everybody's got this idea that everything's got to be like this epic thing, and sometimes it's like just it still is just I mean it still is just either off-roading or camping, or but I mean the whole point is like to get out. So it's not necessarily where you get out to that matters, honestly. I do think that the more you get out some type of way, the more you're going to kind of evolve into being more self-sufficient, unsupported. But I mean, sometimes that's outside somebody's comfort level. Um, for me, I just had to drop my truck off, and I wanted to still camp this weekend, so I camped close to where it needs to get dropped off, and then went and dropped it off and drove home. It wasn't a matter of like it was a matter of camp or don't camp. I mean, go drop the truck off, which the whole reason you're getting it worked on is so you can continue to, you know, go on, go and explore and have expeditions, essentially. So I felt like it was kind of sacrilegious to not also still go camping this weekend when I could. So that's what I did. That's all I got. If you guys got any topics for me, I got a couple really good ones last week. But if anybody has any topics for me, go ahead and message me. at Facebook, Charlie Rasanowski, Facebook for the podcast Outskirts Overland, Instagram, Charlie Raz, R-A-Z. My name's at the bottom here. If you go search Outskirts Overland on YouTube, and it'll show how to spell my last name. Charlie Raz on Instagram and Outskirts Overland on Instagram. Shoot me a message. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. And I am working on something to try and I'm working on something that I will talk about once I get it figured out fully. And I'll hit you guys up with that information. So I'm trying to get something. I got something in the pipe right now. It's not again. I don't have my truck right now, and I don't have all the parts for it. But once I get it going and confirm that it works how I think it should work, I'll hit you guys up with that information. So, anyways, have a good week, guys. Sorry I don't have anything super epic or exciting today. If you have anything you want to anything you want me to cover, go ahead and hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, or you can email me, charlie@outskirtsoverland.com, and I'm more than likely probably going to talk about it. I also will reply to you. I don't know if everybody that like I'm not that cool. I'll reply to you. Like I'm not like yeah, I'm not that cool. Like this podcast isn't that big. Like I'll have a conversation with you. Like message me. All right, guys. I'll catch you later. Have a good week. Keep playing and keep getting outside.